G'day everyone, how's it going? My name's Big Pop and today we're doing some battles in the Open Master League. We'll be using Dragonite, Heatran and Lugia to hopefully pull off some wins and do some nice clutch plays. So without further delay, let's hop into the battles. Hopping straight into the first battle, we have Dragonite up against the Dialga. Not the best matchup, obviously our Dragon Breath is only doing neutral whereas theirs is doing super effective because the Dialga is steel typing, but we do have that superpower to fight back. Will they shield? This is a huge damage, they unfortunately shield. So now we're even easier to farm down, but that'll allow less energy for the Dialga later on. In comes the Iron Head, we no shield, and we're going to come in with Heatran and start farming up with that Fire Spin. They're sitting in Ho-Oh, and you already know what we're going to do. I'm going to go straight for that Stone Edge, come on. Can we yeet with the Stone Edge? Let's go Heatran. Showing that Shundo power, down goes Ho-Oh. What's going to come in next? It's back in there with that Dialga, we're just Fire Spinning away. We can take a Draco Meteor quite easily to the face. Yeah, we're just going to no... Oh no, we do shield. In comes Draco Meteor. So we do want to shield up and just have heaps of energy and heaps of charge moves to throw at the next Pokemon, but they back out. Good game. Hopping into the next one, we have Dragonite on the lead the whole matches against another Dialga. So as I said before, this is quite unfortunate. Our Dragon Breaths are only doing neutral, they're doing super effective, and they can farm us down quite effectively. We do have that superpower, but unfortunately, those Dialgas know it, and they're going to shield it. In comes the Iron Head, we're going to shield up this time, build up to two Dragon Claws, and hope they shield, hoping it's a superpower. In comes Dragon Claw number 1. Gets a shield. Can we get to a superpower? No, but we're just going to throw another Dragon Claw. This will still do a nice chunk of damage. Gets both shields, so now we're at a shield advantage. We're just going to come with Heatran and farm all the way down, and hopefully they don't have a Kyogre in the back. In comes hopefully an Iron Head. Just the Iron Head. We ease. That just tickles the Heatran. We're going to farm all the way down, and now we have boatloads of energy. In comes a Mamoswine. We're going to go straight for that Flamethrower. Send it back to the Ice Age. Get out of here, Manny. Down goes Mamoswine. In comes a Metagross, even better, and they back out. Good game. Hopping into the third match, we have Dragonite against a Giratina. So this is quite a good matchup. They assuming they're running Shadow Claw, yep, is only doing neutral, but we're doing super effective with our Dragon Breath. That Giratina is already about half health. We're going to throw up a shield in case it's a Shadow Ball. It's the Shadow Ball, so good call. We're just going to keep farming up to 2 Dragon Claws. In comes Dragon Claw number 1. We're hoping to get a shield here. Neither of our back Pokemon want to see a Giratina. We get the shield. We're just going to throw the second Dragon Claw before they get to an Ominous Wind. In comes the Dragon Claw. It takes down the Giratina. We're in an even shield scenario. And guess what it is? It's old Kyogre. My worst enemy. We're going to throw the Dragon Claw number 1. This should be doing a nice amount of damage or getting a shield. There's a nice chunk to that Kyogre. And our Dragon Breaths are absolutely shredding that whale. In comes the Surf. We can easily tank that and still come out of here with energy. Can we get to another Dragon Claw? We do. That's absolutely huge. That really swings some momentum in our way. Getting rid of this Kyogre is huge for our backline. What's going to come in? It's an Extra Drill. Now, this is even worse. Neither of our backline want to see this. A Drill Run would probably knock out about 10 Heatrans, and those Rock Slides really add up against Lugia. So we're going to shield the Drill Run, and we're going to try and catch a Drill Run on the Lugia. We successfully catch. Let's go. This should be a Drill Run onto the Lugia. In comes Drill Run. Yep, and now we're in a great position to just farm down. They back out. Good game. Moseying on into the next one, Dragonite into a Zekrom. So this is a bit of a neutral matchup. Dragon Breath against Dragon Breath, you know, we're going to pretty much eliminate each other at the same time. We're going to throw the Dragon Claw. This should do some nice super effective damage. That Zekrom's most likely running Fusion Bolt and Crunch, which take a little bit longer to get to. In comes, oh, it's actually the Wild Charge. Still at debuffs, they make a switch, and we're going to go straight for the superpower. Hopefully this Melmetal just lets it go. Thinking it's a Dragon Claw bait. They let it go. That does momental damage. In comes Heatran. We're Fire Spinning away. Even if it's a superpower, I don't really mind. Yeah, it does a nice chunk to Heatran, but we can body that. We have a nice amount of energy and still 2 Pokemon in the back. Back comes in Zekrom. We're going to go straight for this neutral Stone Edge. It should be doing some big damage. Heatran's got a pretty hefty attack stat. Down goes Zekrom. In comes Dragonite. This is also a good matchup if we have shields. These Stone Edges will do some nice super effective damage, and they do have that superpower, but then they'll debuff. We're able to come with Lugia and just do huge damage. They're going to go for that cheeky little farm down. Good on them, but we're going to come with Lugia anyway, and we can tank whatever they throw. In comes the Dragon Claw, I presume. No need to shield. Lugia is just too tanky. Takes a whole lot of damage to take down a Lugia. Dragon Claw number 2. We're not even close to half, and they're back out. Good game. Keeping it moving here, we got Dragonite into a Groudon. So this is a great matchup. Obviously those Precipice Blades or Earthquake aren't going to do much. That Fire Punch isn't doing much either. They switch into Mewtwo. Mewtwo's a bit of a wild card. You never know what charge moves it's running. Like most likely Psy Strike and Shadow Ball, but you never know. Could be a Focus Blast variant. In comes the Psy Strike. That does a little chunk to Heatran, and we're able to start farming up. I believe, what are we going to do? We're going to no shield. We're just going to no shield. In comes the Shadow Ball. We still have a nice little chunk of health, and we're going to get to a charge move. We attempt the full farm down, but we're not quite able to get there. But it doesn't matter, the Mewtwo's out of the way, it's not a problem anymore. In comes Dragonite to polish it off. What's going to come in next? It's their own Dragonite. I think they're running Dragon Tail, I didn't quite see. We're going to throw that Dragon Claw, get a shield, and start really farming up with that Dragon Breath. We're assuming this is just going to be a Dragon Claw. There's really no point to shield here, they just farm us down and come out with energy. So we're going to leave it all on the shoulders of Lugia. Come on Lugia, let's go. And by the way, Lugia's in raids, raid that. They're about to implement that raid pass limit, which I'm not a fan of, plus the price increase. And Lugia is such a meta Pokemon, so get it while you can. Anyway, back into the battles. They're throwing the Fire Punch. Does a little chunk of neutral damage, but we're able to just get to these Sky attacks and start chunking away than that Groudon. Nice little chunk, gets into the yellow. We're at a second Sky attack. We lose CMP. It doesn't matter. Probably just the Fire Punch, right? In comes the Fire Punch. We're still in the pretty healthy yellow range, I'd say. In comes Sky attack number 2. Does a nice chunk of damage. We just Dragon Claw away. Down goes Groudon. Back comes in Dragonite. We're at a nice healthy health range and we just farm all the way down. Good game to that trainer. Hopping into the next one, we have another Groudon against our Dragonite. I absolutely love this. Our Dragon Breaths are doing huge damage to that bulky beast, that dinosaur looking thing. And we're just anticipating the... Oh, Precipice Blades, wow. Still does a nice chunk of damage to a flying type, but it's no match for Dragonite. This is one of the most advantageous matchups you can have in the Master League. And Dragonite is a free-to-play Pokemon, essentially, so get yourself a Dragonite ASAP. We're anticipating another Fire Punch. Oh no, another Precipice Blades. Actually got us into the low yellow, but now we have boatloads of energy for whatever comes in. We have the back-to-back superpowers. Will they respect the superpower, or will they think it's a Dragon Claw? They respect it. And we're unfortunately not able to throw another charge move. That's super unfortunate. But it's a good thing we got the trusty Magma Cockroach in the back to finish the job. In comes Heatran. What are they going to throw? It's the Draco Meteor. Heatran doesn't care. Cockroaches can survive nuclear bombs. What's a Draco Meteor? We switch into Lugia upon the Reshiram switch. And these Firefangs are actually doing a decent amount of damage, and we are wary of the crunch. But these Dragon Tails are just chunking. They're doing absolutely good damage. We're at about 2 Sky attacks. We're more spammy than I think Dragon Claw's a better energy producing move than Firefang. We're just going to shield this up, and then we should be able to farm all the way down, I believe. So yep, about 4 or 5 Dragon Tails. Down goes Reshiram. Back comes Indalga, and we're just going to full send the Aeroblast. Let's go Lugia. Does huge amounts of resisted damage. I cannot believe that's a flying type move against a steel. It's just surreal. Anyway, we're going to make the quick combo switch into Heatran. Flamethrower the Dialga. Down goes Dialga. Good game. Moving into the next match, we have Dragonite again against a Mewtwo. So as I said before, Mewtwo is a bit of a wild card. You never know what it's running. It could have Ice Beam, it could have Flamethrower, it could have whatever. So we're going to switch into Heatran, hoping to catch a Side Strike, but we must have miscounted, or they just outplayed us. Regardless, they send in a Groudon. We have Heatran. This is a horrible matchup. Groudon just stomps the little lava cockroach. They actually throw... I was anticipating a bait there with the Fire Punch, so it's a good thing we no-shielded. And we try and reach a Flamethrower, but unfortunately to no avail. So we're just going to Heatran, just let it go down, come in with Dragonite, and start farming up a good amount of energy. There's really no need to shield here. Like, Groudon cannot touch Dragonite. Yeah, that Fire Punch does a little minuscule amount of damage. Now we have a great amount of energy. In comes Mewtwo, and we're going to hoping to put a heap of pressure on this Mewtwo of Dragonite. Come on, Dragonite. Show who is the best Kanto Pokemon out of the OG 151. My pick is definitely Dragonite. We're going to try and get the Dragon Claw number 2 off, but unfortunately they get to that Side Strike. We're going to no-shield. We know we can still survive and get that move off. I think we anticipate a bit of a lag, but it doesn't matter. In comes Dragon Claw. Takes down the Mewtwo. What do they have in the back? It's the Zekrom. So we're in a bit of a tough position here. We pretty much need to fast move all the way down, because our charge moves aren't going to do anything, and unfortunately they have 2 shields. Fusion Bolt number 1 does, more damage than I'm comfortable with, and unfortunately it's looking like they're just going to be able to farm us down before we're able to Dragon Tail down. In comes Sky Attack number 1. We're going to attempt it anyway because we don't quit, but unfortunately, yeah, we get Dragon Breath down. Good game. Moving along, we have another match, Dragonite into Melmetal. So this is not a very good matchup. Obviously with Superpower, it's become a lot better of a matchup, as opposed to Hurricane as it had before, but unfortunately the Rock Slides are still too spammy and they do too much damage. We're going to farm up to the Superpower, throw the Dragon Claw, hoping to get a shield. Can we get that shield we so desire? We can. That's brilliant. Now, we're going to no-shield this. Yeah, we can still survive in a healthy range, and we haven't been debuffed. In comes the Rock Slide. We still have a healthy amount of yellow. Let's go for the Superpower. Come on, Dragonite. Flex those muscles. In comes the Superpower. Almost takes down the Melmetal. We farm down. What's going to come in next? It's a Dialga. Will we reach the Dragon Claw? Unfortunately not that fast. The Dragon Breath damage is too much. Heatran comes in. Kyogre switches in, and then we counter with Lugia. Come on, Lugia, you beast. Show who the real king of the water is. We're farming up. We're just into oh, it's a Thunder, not a Surf. That's really unfortunate. But it doesn't matter. We're about 2 Sky Attacks in. We'll throw the first one, hoping to get a shield. Gets the shield. Unfortunately, we can't see the shield because Kyogre's so goddamn big. But anyway, I digress. We throw the second Sky Attack. Should do a nice amount of damage. Yep, does a nice amount of damage. Almost takes out their Kyogre. One more Fire Spin, and unfortunately, they hang on. So we have to shield up this Surf. We'll just do too much damage. In the back, there's Dialga. I think we're able to just Flamethrower and then farm down. They'll get to a Draco Meteor, but then they debuff their attack, and that Dragon Breath just isn't enough against the resisted Steel, so we're in a pretty good position here. Yeah, in comes the Draco, I'm assuming, or the Thunder. In comes the Draco, we still have a nice amount of health, and we farm down. Good game. Keeping it moving here, we have Dragonite coming in against a Groudon. So as we went over in the earlier in the video, this is a great matchup. Our Dragon Breaths are doing a nice amount of damage, their Mod Shots are pretty much healing us, and the Fire Punches or Precipice Blades aren't really a threat. In comes Precipice Blades, still does a nice amount of resisted damage. They switch into Zacian, and we're going to counter with our Heatran. Now this is a bit of a tricky one. You know, I'm praying it's Wild Charge and Play Rough, but most likely, and pretty much assuredly, it's Close Combat. Anyway, we shield up the Play Rough, which is really unfortunate. It's 4 times resisted with Heatran. We throw the Flamethrower, it gets a shield. They're very much more spamming with us with that Snarl. I wish Heatran had a more energy producing move. I wish it had Incinerate. Oh my god, that would be good. Anyway, we tank the Close Combat, hoping they were going to bait again, but unfortunately they get us. We're able to get another shield with Flamethrower, and they have heaps of energy right now. I'm a bit worried it's going to be Wild Charge. Actually, no, never mind. They showed us both moves. So we switch into Lugia, not really worrying about it. We're going to start Dragon Tailing down. This is one of those situations where it's actually okay that Dragon Tail is resisted against the Fairy, because we're able to farm up heaps of energy. We know they've got the Groudon. They send in the Groudon. We're just going to farm up all the way to the Aeroblast. They get to a move, no need to shield, it's just going to be a resisted move or a neutral. Fire Punch, not very powerful move, unless it's coming from Primal Groudon, now that thing is something to worry about. In comes Aeroblast, takes down Groudon. What do they have in the back? It's the Melmetal. I'm going to start farming up. This is a bit tough with Dragonite in the back. I think we make a bit of a misplay, we forget how much energy we had on Dragonite and we spend a shield. So yeah, we come in, we're going to Superpower, and then we need to get one more charge move off. They get to a Rock Slide. Now we're debuffed. Can we hang on? We hang on. Oh, no we don't. Ooh, that's unfortunate. In comes Lugia though. We get to the Aeroblast. Thank goodness. Old trusty Lugia. It kind of has that Batman mask on. Coming to the rescue. Down goes Melmetal. Good game. Moseying on to the next one. We have Dragonite against the Dialga. So yeah, bad matchup. They're going to farm us down, and we really need to like kind of win like the shield bait scenarios here. So we're just going to farm up to a Dragon Claw. Hopefully this gets a shield out of that Dialga. We get a shield, that's huge. We're going to keep farming. It's just going to be an Iron Head here, and there's no point in shielding because I'll just farm us down. But unfortunately I shield, which I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, we get to another Dragon Claw. Maybe we'll get another shield, and we'll end up being advantageous. Let's see. We get another shield. That's brilliant, actually. Okay, that worked out well. In comes Heatran. Now we're in a position to just farm down, and we can take whatever move Dialga throws. They have Kyogre, and then in comes trusty Lugia. So we've seen this before. Seeing as they don't have any shields, there's no need to bait with the Sky Attack, so I'm just going to farm all the way up. We're going to fear the Thunder. Unfortunately, it's the Surf, and we're just going to go straight for the Aeroblast. I'm so glad Lugia got Aeroblast. I'd say it's essential when running Lugia. It's just too good. Plus, sometimes you get that attack buff, and it is just unreal. So what's going to come in next? It's the Mewtwo. So we're just going to start farming up, fearing the Shadow Ball. We're just going to get off whatever damage we can while we can. In comes the Sky Attack. Lugia swoops. Takes a nice amount of damage onto that Mewtwo. We make a quick switch into Heatran. Can we catch a Side Strike? Unfortunately, it's full send for the Shadow Ball. So in comes Flamethrower. This should be taking down the Mewtwo. Down goes Mewtwo. Back in comes Dialga. And all we need to do now is farm down. Heatran does its part. Gets 2 Fire Spins off. Gets eliminated. Lugia just needs to come in now and finish the job. I'm really praying it's not a Draco Meteor here. I wasn't really keeping track of energy. Just the Iron Head. And we're able to farm down. Good job, Lugia, and good game. Moving along, we have Dragonite into a Landorus. So this thing's about to be in raids. Let's see how it goes. We're Dragon Breathing away, doing a nice amount of damage. Obviously, their fast move's resisted, but we do have to fear, I believe, the Rock Slide, not the Earth Power, but that can definitely threaten our Heatran. We're going to go straight for the Dragon Claw. This should do a nice amount of damage. Yeah, it does a nice chunk of damage. The Dragon Breath is definitely applying the fast move damage, that's for sure. We're going to shield up the second Rock Slide because we want to get rid of this thing ASAP. It has really good charge moves against my backline. Thankfully, we got rid of the Landorus real quick, and now we're about 2 superpowers in, and this Metagross has something to fear. In comes superpower number 1. Will they shield? They do shield. Now, superpower number 2 comes in, so I'm regretting not just going for the Dragon Claw. This will be weaker than the first, but still does a nice chunk of damage, and we're in a good position. In comes Heatran. We definitely have to fear the Earthquake, so we're going to send up a shield. Will it be the Earthquake? Yep, it's the Earthquake. That would eliminate about 10 Heatrans. We're just going to keep farming, and we'll make a quick switch into Lugia. We switch into Lugia. Let's go. Let's see if it's the Earthquake. Oh, it's only the Meteor Mash, so we actually would have been okay there, but still safer than sorry to make that switch. In comes Dialga. We're in a good position here. Just farm up energy. The Dragon Claws are actually doing a nice amount of neutral damage. We'll go straight for the Aeroblast, hoping they're thinking we're trying to get that last shield with the Sky Attack. They don't shield the Aeroblast. I'm sure they're regretting it. Just too good. In comes an Iron Head. That's okay. And now we're in a great position to just farm down with the Heatran. They get to a charge move. Doesn't really matter what it is. In comes Draco Meteor. Yeah, we tanked that like a champ. Down goes Dialga. Good game to that trainer. Skipping into the next one, we have Dragonite into a Florges. So this is a bad matchup, obviously, it being a fairy. And we don't want to quite just switch into our Heatran because they could counter us with a Kyogre or Groudon. We know they're lurking around at the moment, seeing as they were in the raids. So we're going to switch into our Lugia and hope to bait out. There it is. There's the Kyogre. So we're going to go straight for the Aeroblast, hoping the whale doesn't know what's going to hit it. In comes the... Oh, it's just the Sky Attack, actually. It still does a nice chunk of damage. I should have thrown the Aeroblast. Anyway, it doesn't matter. In comes the Sky Attack. Should be doing a nice amount of damage. This is great. We need to get rid of this Lugia as soon as possible because it's just such a menace. Especially that beautiful shiny. I'm so jealous. I rated it so hard. I wanted a hundo so badly. Best I got was like an 89%. But anyway, I digress. We're at 2 Sky Attacks, so we're going to try and bait shields and do some nice amount of damage. In comes Sky Attack number 1. Gets the shield. So now we're in an even shield scenario. They just switched. I didn't quite see what they switched into. My apologies. Oh no, they didn't switch. It's Florges. What am I doing? Anyway, Lugia's farmed down. We come with Heatran. This is doing some nice fire spin damage. Doesn't matter what this is. It's 4 times resisted. Heatran can take it like a champ. And unfortunately, it's Heatran's other worst enemy, Groudon. So now we're able to make a quick switch into Dragonite, and we positioned ourselves perfectly. We would have instantly lost this match if I switched straight into Heatran. So sometimes it is better to switch into your other counter, because then you'll bait out the counter to your main counter, if that makes sense. Anyway, we're doing some nice amount of damage with the Dragon Claws. Doesn't matter what this is. Doesn't matter. Precipice Blades does a nice amount of damage. Now we're farming up. We're just going to farm all the way down. We know that Florges is in the back. It can't really threaten our Heatran. So on second thought, I may as well have just thrown the superpower so it could farm me down quicker so it gets less energy. In another scenario, like I don't really need to worry this scenario because I know Heatran can handle the job. But Dragonite's actually about handle the job, so you know it doesn't really matter in the end. Anyway, but just for a tighter situation, that might be the better play. Heatran comes in, they back out, good game. Thank you all so much for watching. I had a blast running Shundo Heatran, Lugia, and Dragonite in the Open Master League. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'm appreciative of every like, every subscribe, every view. It means the world to me. And until next time, it's been Big Pop.